Setting boundaries for your relationship, for your Filipina in your relationship in the Philippines. Setting boundaries for your Filipina in your relationship in the Philippines. That is our topic today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be before you real quickly. We're going to get three things for you to talk about. The hocus pocus, just thumbnail for the day. Here we go. Let's go. Watch yourself. Yeah. You better watch yourself, lady, before you be by yourself. Don't overstep your boundaries. It's important. In any relationship, any good, healthy relationship requires a set of unwritten and or, if necessary, written boundaries, guidelines, parameters, if you will, so that everybody concerned know where their line stops and where your line begins. Okay, it's important. If you don't have that with your Filipina, she gonna run all over you, Mister. Yeah, you, Mister. Watching me right now, Mister Clean. You. She gonna run all over you. You say, well, I gave you, Sheila, I gave you $500 last month, and you told me you're gonna help your family. What you do with the money? I had to buy me some groceries. That's helping your family. You say you need more money to help your family, but I bought them some too, but that wasn't enough for them. We need more money. Stop the lie, sister. You know our rule. You go over the limits, your money get cut back. Oh, you didn't tell me that. You told me just not to go over the limits. You didn't tell me to go cut my money. See, got to have clear, visible guidelines, boundaries, parameters, and so that she know how far to go, and you know how far to go. You with me, Jay? Now go. So, focus, just focus for the day. Number one. What's the importance of setting boundaries, BobbieD? Can you tell me that, please, sir? I need to know. I'm gonna got you, man. I got you too. Number two, understanding Filipino culture. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to understand Filipino culture. Sometimes Filipino don't even understand their own culture. Number three, 4 steps to set boundaries in your relationship. Okay, I'm gonna show you, and I can show you better than I can throw you. I got 4 for you. Let's go. Number one is what? The importance of setting boundaries. Now, I just stepped into a little bit of just a minute ago. I told you how important it is to set boundaries. I'm gonna detail it right now. Number one, importance of setting boundaries is healthy connection, man. Whenever you set a boundary, whenever you set parameters, whenever you set guidelines in your relationship between your Filipino or your lady, whatever she is, American, whatever, you are creating a healthy connection. Mhm. A healthy establishment in your relationship, mhm, versus unhealthy. If it's unhealthy, anything goes and it's going down, it's going down, it's going to crumble, it's going to fall. But if it's healthy, it's going to get stronger and build up, it's going to live and not die. You want a relationship that's living. You want it. We fall down, but sometimes we don't get back up. And that happens to relationship all the time. And one of the primary reasons, ladies and gentlemen, is because they were never given any clear-cut decision, clear-cut guidelines, parameters about the boundaries, what you took, what you will take, what you won't take, what she will take, what she won't take. They were never explained. They were never dealt with. You were like, okay, here you go. She's supposed to read your mind, huh? You got to tell her. Like, is he supposed to read your mind, ma'am? You got to tell him. How you gonna know just by reading your mind? Come on, man. Let's be real. Let's be adults. You have to understand, and you have to delineate what you will take and what you won't take. She had to do the same for you. If you don't do it, it's gonna be a whole world of confusion in your relationship. Okay, so importance number one, it's healthy connection. Because you're healthy, cause your connection to be healthy and to live and to be dynamic and growing rather than decaying. Okay, next, it provides clarity. Mm-hmm. You know, you clear what you're gonna take. She's clear what you're gonna take and what you're not gonna take. There's no confusion there. So when somebody said, well, I didn't know, stop the lie, sister. We set the boundaries at the beginning of our relationship. You knew as well as I did. So there won't be any there won't be any confusion. Well, I didn't know. That's a crazy cop out that a lot of people use. I didn't know. And they know that they knew. but they use the "I didn't know" to try to get them out of the mess. Okay, if you don't have any clear-cut guidelines and boundaries in your relationship, you asking for trouble, not trouble. Trouble. You're setting yourself up for a big fat fall in your relationship, and it won't last long. Because anything goes, mean anybody do anything in your relationship. And you know, if you're a person that you have standards, you have values in your life, you don't want anybody treating you kind of way. You don't want anybody talking to you kind of way. You don't want anybody disrespecting you kind of way. And that's called having what? Boundaries. Are you with me so far? Let's go. I'm running this quick. I'm gonna run this quick. And then you need to ensure what happens when you importance of boundaries ensures that you are respected. Your values are respected. I just said that, and it helps you prevent misunderstandings. Yeah. I didn't know what you meant, John. I didn't know you told that was that part. You told me not to do that. I didn't know because you didn't make it clear. You have to make it clear. Provides clarity in your rules and your regulations for your relationship, and then helps prevent misunderstandings. Helps strengthens your relationship. Your relationship will get stronger when you know how much you're going to take. She know how much you're going to take. You know how much she's going to take, and it's vice versa. Okay. It strengthens your relationship. It strengthens your bond. Okay. Because everybody's clear on our pathway, how we're going, where we're going, why we're going together as one because we know the roadway, because we have what? Boundaries. I'm going to stay in my lane. That's what she's saying. I'm going to stay in my lane. And he said, I'm going to stay in my lane. And so that we won't clash together. We'll come together in our pathway as one, but we won't clash against each other. Okay? Not why? Because we know our boundaries. It's been clearly communicated. We understand how far we can go with each other, and we know that we don't want to disrespect one another. How many times you have been disrespected by your lady? Mister, I'm talking to you, man. Women, how many times have you ever been disrespected by your man? I guarantee you, when it boiled down to it, you didn't understand him. You didn't understand how much she was going to take from you. Same way with you, mister. You didn't understand how much she was going to take from you. And when you learn, it was probably sometimes it's too late because it's over. But I didn't know. You know why you didn't know? Because y'all always too hot to trot. Never sit down and communicate genuinely about your feelings, what you would take, what you would not take, and you just left that part out. That's silliness. If you want a stable connection, loving, caring connection, relationship, you have to be careful and you have to be prayerful and you have to delineate or detail what you will take, what you not take, what you expect and what you don't expect. Okay. And then not only do you have to just talk about it, you have to tell, hey, the consequences when it crossed the line. Everybody got to know that, man. You know, you just can't say, well, don't step across this line and that's it. What happens if they step across the line? What you gonna do about it? Cry and run home? Some people do that. When Johnny came home drunk, mama, I'm home, I'm going home. Crazy is that. You gotta have some consequences, but you can't have crazy consequences. Okay, let's go. But it's important, man, that you understand the importance of setting boundaries. It's important that you know the understanding of the Filipino culture. Number two, okay, understand your culture. Understand whenever you're dealing with a Filipino, whenever you're dealing with a Filipino, you got to know their culture when you set your boundaries. If you set boundaries without cultural consideration of their cultural morals and values, you're hurting your own relationship because she has a way of thinking about the world and life because of how she was raised. You have the way of thinking about the world and life because of how you were raised. If you don't understand her culture and you're setting your boundaries, it may not go well for her. Okay. She has to understand your culture as well. One of the problems we're running constantly with Filipinos, and they always want the foreign guy, right, to know their culture. But when it comes to them knowing the foreign guy, I don't need to know all that. Yes, you do, sister. I mean, it works both ways. You have to know his culture, and she has to know yours. Yeah, it goes both ways. You don't have to know every detail, but you have, as much as you know, you need to abide by it and get it. Okay. If you feel that you're not comfortable with knowing some of his ways, ask him. No? And if you feel you're not comfortable in knowing about your feelings, ask her. What does this mean? You know, how strong is this? Do y'all why do y'all eat pork all the time? All kind of stuff like that. Why do you eat fish all the time? What's the value of that? You know, understand. Then when you understand their culture, then you can consider that when you set your boundaries. And she will consider setting her boundaries when she understands your culture to some degree. Both parties need to understand the cultural value when it comes to setting boundaries in your relationship. Culture influences boundaries all the time. Filipino family is one of the biggest factors in the Filipino culture is what? I just said it. Family. Come in my house. One of your boundaries is no family come in my house. No, none of your family. That's a big no, mister. Because you're disregarding her cultural values. Her cultural values is that she loves her family. And the family is very, very important here. So that's not going to work. You have to reset that. And then, you got to consider the family dynamics. Family is so important to the Filipinos. If you don't put the family as a part of their life, you're not going to have a good woman. You're not going to have a good wife if you marry, okay? Understanding the nuances, the details of the culture will strengthen your communication in your relationship. It's very important that you understand as much as you can about her culture. And it's more important as well that she understands as much as she can about your culture so that you can understand what it means when you set a particular boundary, what it actually means to you, how much it means to you, how much you value it. Therefore, she won't cross the line and go into your overstep your boundaries. Okay, it's important, ladies and gentlemen. Boundaries is one of the most important aspect of any strong relationship. You know how much you're gonna take from her. She know how much she's gonna take from you. She does not overstep your line. You don't overstep her line, and you respect that. That causes a mutual respect to come about between both parties in a relationship. Okay, it's important. When you have no respect, you got nothing, man. It's like you might well be dating a dog. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't respect you. Dog don't care nothing about you. They do their thing. They do their thing. Yeah, and women the same way. If you don't have no boundaries, they'll do whatever they want to you. You be like a doormat to them. And men the same way. If you have no boundaries, women the same way. If they have no men have no boundaries for you, they will walk all over you, talk to you like you nothing. Have no consideration for your feelings, your family dynamics, none of that. So sit down before you start getting strongly attached to that individual. Always set your boundaries. What I will take and what I will not take. And when you begin setting your boundaries, it may be that person won't accept your boundaries. She won't accept your limitations and stuff. And so that's a red flag. Hey, you're not the one for me. I'm sorry. I say that I go to church every Sunday. And if you're not a church going woman, hey, we're not gonna make it because the Lord is important in my life. Yeah. That's one of the most important things in my life. And you say you don't love the Lord, you don't even know if it's a God. Is that what you're telling me, ma'am? I'm saying, bye. Oh, you see how important it is that when you meet somebody, you really start to get attached to them. You talk about the details, you talk about the boundaries, things that you would take, things you will not take. It's important, man. And if you don't do it, you are going to face the ramifications of your bad decisions later on in the future. Number three, just don't want to be. We'll get up out of here. Let's go. Number three, steps. I got 4 steps for you. 4 steps for you to set boundaries in your relationship. Okay. Number one, identify the parameters, the limits, the borders clearly. Okay. Identify what you're going to take from this woman, Mister. Identify what you're going to take from this man, a sister, and so they will know what you expect from them and what you don't expect from them. Okay, and make it clear, crystal clear. You know, uh, I don't expect you going out every weekend with your boys, Johnny, because you know I'm here and I love you, and we need to spend more time. You got a partner now. I'm not. You're not by yourself. You stop trying to live single. I don't. You do that, Johnny. I'm out. That's a boundary. Yeah, that's a boundary. And if Johnny crossed the line, then you got to make some decisions. You want to stay and let him keep crossing your boundary, or you gonna step? Yep. That's what you do. You draw out a blueprint. Hear me good. A blueprint for your what relationship? A blueprint for how long you want to go, how strong you want to grow, how much you want to grow together. All of that is determined by your boundaries that you set for one another. When you set no boundaries for your Filipina, the Filipino gonna set some boundaries for you. Okay. I'm serious. This is a matriarchal society, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know that. So if you call yourself going with a Filipina, And then I'm the man, you got to do what I say now. Okay, okay. And that's all you said. You weren't clear about what your boundaries are. You said, I'm the man, you got to do what I say. And she said, well, you didn't tell me that. You know, so what? I didn't tell you not to bring 15 people in my house. Why I had to tell you that? Because you didn't tell me that. And that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna, if you're not specific with a Filipino, they'll take advantage of your not being specific. And they know between the line what you don't like and what you like, but they will take advantage of it because you weren't specific in your communication. You weren't specific in setting your rules, guidelines, and boundaries and parameters for your relationship. So it's important that you set it clear, and it's important that she do it as well. So effective. You got to be effective when you do it, man. Communication, borders, ask the question when you say, well, Sheila, I told you one of my boundaries is never go over the budget. When we see y'all living together, never go over the budget. Okay, that's my boundary. Okay, but you have to say if you go over the budget by X amount, that's being specific. Or if you go over the budget or you come under the budget, that's good. I want that. That's being specific. Okay. So she said, well, you told me not to go over the budget. You didn't tell me how much not to go over. She not spend. You gave her a budget of $500. She not spend $1,000. That causes trouble in River City. Okay, man. But be effective, be clear, and then attach consequences when you set your boundaries and guidelines up. Yeah, when it's out of the bounds, you got to set your consequences. What's the consequences, Bobby? The consequences, I'm gonna beat you up. Nah, don't go find out. You're playing, y'all. Don't do that. The consequences should be something that you both mutually agree upon, because it's about adhering to the lack of getting going according to the boundaries that were set. So if there's someone goes against the boundaries and the guideline, then there must be a consequence. But it has to be a reasonable consequence and not a harsh consequence. Okay, a reasonable mean that you're going to give them a chance to straighten it up. But it has to be some kind of consequence that both of you have to agree upon. If they go over the budget or if they go over your boundary. Okay, so attach consequences to every boundary that they go over. Now let's talk about rule versus retaliation. A lot of you guys believe that it's my way or the highway. If you do this, do that. Those really are not boundaries. Okay. And a boundary is not a rule. A boundary, ladies and gentlemen, is not a law. Okay. Now we know that the rule of law is established in most countries. Okay, sometimes it's not established in dictatorship countries, but for free world democratic countries, the rule of law goes. So a law means if you violate that law, then there's the punishment for it. Okay? But a boundary means if you come over in this boundary, there's not a punishment. The punishment is detrimental. It's going to hurt you. There is a consequence. That's why I say you have to be specific about your consequence. Consequence say, okay, if you come across this, if you go over what I said not to do, okay, I'm gonna give you a warning first time, and then I'm gonna talk to you about it next time. And if you do it again, it's gonna be serious. And you have to warn people, and you caution them, and you work with them. That's not being judgmental. That's being following the guidelines and following the rules. But if it's a law, that means it's punished. There's a punishment for it. And you don't want to punish people because they messed up one time. You don't want to do that. That's too, and especially if you have a serious relationship. But there has to be a consequence, and the consequence has to be followed. That's not detrimental to your relationship, but the consequence should be she has an opportunity or he has an opportunity to do better the next time. Okay, that's what rule versus law. You don't want to have a lot of harsh rules in any relationship. My way or else. You don't want to go around giving ultimatums to people, because that's the worst thing you could do. You say, if you do it again, I'm gonna butt your head or whatever. Just play, don't do that. But if you do it again, we out. We done put you out. Yeah, don't do that. That shouldn't be a consequence, because that's ending. That's fatal. That's not giving a person an opportunity to do what better the next time. You're just making a final judgment. That's it. Don't be judgmental like that, because everybody messes up sometimes. Even you, mister. Yeah, you Mr. Perfect, Mr. Clean. You mess up too, man. Yeah, it's you too, sister. Let's go. But don't be too judgmental, and don't have your consequences to when someone oversteps their boundaries. to be so rigid that you don't have an sympathy for them to try to help them to do better the next time. It's got to be a mutual agreement on your boundary lines, and then there has to be a mutual agreement on what you do to as a consequence of someone going over your boundaries. Are you with me so far, G? Let go. We almost done. We almost done. And then you have to build in a warning system. Yeah. Okay. Look at Sheila. I told you, I don't want you going out with your girls every week. I warn you. You know that's against our boundary, my boundary. We talked about that. We talked about that a lot. I know you like to go out a lot, so I told you that's against my boundary, and I'm warning you right now. That's how you do. You got to have a warning system to let people know they either stepping over the boundary or they're about to step over the boundary, and that you're not going to take more of this. And if they don't straighten up, then you have a reason to take further action. Okay, that's just the way life is. If there should be a consequence to every action or inaction that violates your boundaries in your relationship. If there's no consequences, then anything happens, anything goes, and you have no relationship, structured relationship. When anything goes, in a relationship, that you may have some kind of relationship, but it's not going to be a structured relationship, and it's not going to be a healthy relationship. It's going to be an unhealthy relationship. In any unhealthy relationship, anything goes. In a strong, healthy relationship, anything doesn't go, because you understand the rules of the game, the rules of your relationship, the boundaries, the guidelines that's in your relationship. That's what you go by in order to grow your relationship, make it stronger, make it longer, make it loving, caring, sharing, more communicative, and be able to talk to each other in any circumstance or any way about anything. That's what's called building your relationship. And that's what a lot of people fail at. But we know how to get together. We know how to live together. We know how to come together. But staying together requires work, okay? And it requires, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, you think love gonna make us last? No. Go out, get out here with that fairy tale stuff. But we need is love, man. Love gonna be our thing. You got to have the love. People have all the love in the world. But if they don't sit down and talk these things out and know what their guidelines are, know what their values are, know what their standards are as individuals, it's not going to work. Because sooner or later, if someone continues to overstep your boundaries, someone continues to overstep your guidelines and your standards and your way of living, they will lose respect for you, and you will lose respect for them. And guess what? Whenever you lose respect for one another, they will not last. Okay? They will not last. And so I understand boundaries in a relationship is very, very important, especially for your Filipina, because again, these are matriarchal societies. If there was no boundaries for her, when she gets married with you, the first thing she's gonna do is say, "Where's the checkbook? Where's the bank account? I need my name on it." I'm telling you, man. And then she's gonna say, "Now I want my own account." Then the next thing she's gonna say, "Transfer all that money you got in your, put it in my." I told you, man, you better set that financial guideline. And it's so I might go over the types of guidelines on there. I don't know. I might do some other, but there's several varieties and categories of guidelines that you need to get in touch with her on. Religious guidelines, financial guidelines, social guidelines. Because see, a social guideline said, well, she used to be buddy with a lot of guys. And then she have these guys coming over to the house. What? Wait a minute. That's against my boundary. You got to talk these things out, because if you don't, you're going to walk it out. Okay. I prefer to talk it out than walk it out. You have to understand people will do only what you allow them to do. Okay. If you have no guidelines, they will make the guidelines. The guidelines will make you. Her guidelines going to be your guidelines. She's going to say, well, okay, you ain't told me that. You better get out my way. You coming up with your guidelines now? We've been going together for 6 months. You just now coming by the guideline. I'm gonna bring my brothers in here. Ain't no brothers. It's your boyfriends. I'll tell you, man, it is so important, especially with Filipinos. Now, I love Filipinos, but there are some of them that are very, very deceptive. I'll just be honest with you. Very, very deceptive, and they will try to get over on you every way they can think of. Okay, and there's a million ways they can get over on you, especially if you come to their country to live. I'm telling you, man. But if you have a woman that's decent, God-fearing woman, they won't try to take advantage of you. They will actually change you. because I love you and I don't want to do anything that will have a tendency to mess up a relationship. I love you so much. That's the kind of woman you want. And you go and talk about it. And you should do the same thing for her. Reciprocate your desires for her, as well. What you expect from her, what you don't expect from her. And then that's how you meet together and you grow together and you know together. Okay. If you don't do that, ladies and gentlemen, you're asking for trouble in River City. And your relationship won't last long. I'm telling you straight up. Boundaries are so critical to a prosperous, intelligent, loving, caring, sharing relationship. Yeah. And so whenever you meet someone that you really, really like, one of the areas that you want to communicate on and be strong about is what you take and what you don't take. Because when you find out that she won't go by what you say, that's a red flag. And that means you need to start thinking about releasing that relationship and not getting any more closer to her. Okay. Because she's going to violate your guidelines. And the problem is this: a lot of you get in touch with these women that already know she ain't for you and she's not for any of your boundaries. And you still go with her. How dumb is that? That's dumb. But to you, it's not, because you just want to flame, and that's what you want. That's what you want. But I think most people that are dating Filipinas that are mature and not toy boys, like what I'm saying, just want to slam bam, thank you, man. Most people that are dating them that are mature and considerate don't want just a flame. They want a strong, mutual, long relationship with one individual that can last the test of time. Okay, and when you find that one, she's gonna be more than willing to adhere to all of your guidelines, and you will do the same, vice versa. That's how you know you found the right one. When your guidelines are acceptable to her, and her guidelines are acceptable to you, and your boundaries, then you know you have a relationship that's going to be worthwhile, and you want to work with that relationship, work with that lady, and she will work with you. That's how you do. I got one more thing. We out. Okay, this is some rules and this is some boundaries. Now, I want to show you the difference between boundaries rather, and then rules. Boundaries are empowering. Okay, when you set a boundary, that's empowering. You have the power to go up until that boundary, but if you go over that boundary, then that's a problem. Rules are disempowering. A rule is, if you do this or else. If you do this or else, if you do this, I'm gonna leave you. If you do this, that's a rule. That's a no-no. A boundary is, you give it, when you set a boundary, ladies and gentlemen, you give the person an opportunity to do what? Make a decision whether they want to cross that line, that boundary line, or not. When you make a rule, there's no decision. They just can't do it. Okay, that's the difference between a rule and a boundary. Boundary, an individual has an opportunity to make a decision whether they want to cross your boundary or not. In a rule, and that's what a lot of people do, they confuse the two terms. They could use a rule, and it's not really, they call a rule a boundary, but it's not really a boundary. It's a rule. Okay, a rule is not caring. A rule is not forgiving. A boundary can be forgiving. A boundary can be a caring. Okay, so understand, boundaries are empowering. Rules are disempowering. Boundaries are about you. Rules are about them. My rule is, you don't come in here after 10 o'clock. Well, what you mean? I don't get off work till 11. Is that a boundary or is that a rule? Is that a boundary or is that a rule? His rule is, she don't come in the house after 10 o'clock and she don't get out of work till 11. Is that a boundary or that's a rule? She don't even get out of work till 11. You talking about don't come in the house till 10 o'clock? Come on, man. That's a rule. And you need to be more caring, more understanding, and stop being stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go. But yeah, now another one, boundary. If you say this, I will leave the table. That's a boundary. If you say something bad, that's unacceptable to me, I won't stay there and take it. A boundary, and the rule says you can't say this. Okay, that means on the rule, you're not giving that person what? An option. You're treating them like an entity, and you're not giving them the mind to make a choice. And whenever you don't give someone an opportunity to make a choice, you're asking for trouble, because you're treating them like a child. And people don't like to be treated immaturely. People don't like to be treated like your son, your daughter, your kid, when they're grown adults. So that's a big difference here. Now, another one. You can enforce, you can leave the dinner table, because that is in your control. That's a boundary. You can leave the dinner table. Now, the rule is hard to enforce, because what someone else does is out of your control. Okay, that's a rule. Last one. If boundaries are violated, there are consequences. Okay. Every boundary that is violated has a consequence. Every a rule can be violated. There's no consequence. There's consequences too, but it can be violated. A boundary, they have a choice to violate it or not. A rule, they don't have a choice. They go over it. That's it. They can't. There's no option to get out of that. Okay. So that's it. That's all I got for you. All right. I don't think we got anybody out here today. Lizzie, we got anybody out there? No, she's in bed. All right. We're going to run this real quick. I'm not going to do the normal rah-rah. We're going to run this real quick, get through the day, and move on down the line. Let's go. Who got Ron Train, BobbieD, DC, One Nation, the group? Hello. Murphy Hayes. What's up, Murphy? He said, hello. Hello, brother. So good to see you. Ron Train, BobbieD, DC, One Nation, the group. In the house today. First man up. Y'all give us props. First man up on the train today. What's up, my brother? So good to see you. Murphy Hayes said, I'm gonna be the first man up today. Murphy, you somebody dropped you off your spot. I think Smooth Sound dropped you off the spot a couple of times. You got to get back up on the throne. Let's go. Ron Train, BobbieD, DC, One Nation. We got Anthony Ligon. He was also hello, Love Train. Congrats, Murphy Hayes, #1 rider on the train today. What's up? What's up? What's up? Good to see you, Anthony. Where you been, man? Been missing you. I've been missing you. What's up, man? Hey, so good to see you in the train today. But you know, I got to tell you, right, man? Number 2. Jeff won't do, but you do just fine. Ron Train, BobbieD, DC, One Nation, going up. Murphy, he said, thanks, Sir Liggins, and congratulations for number 2. Got you, man, got you. Ron Train, Anthony, he said, thanks, Murphy. Tuba Queen said, number 2 is what you want to do. Nah, man, you know what she said. Number 2 is what you don't want to do. Right, Murphy, 2 is true. Yeah, it's true, but we don't take number 2 on the show. Murphy, through and through. I got you, man. All right, we got why are you riding? We got that's it. Cinnamon Rolls. What's up, Cinnamon? I like that name, man. What's up? Cinnamon Rolls every day. Hey, Bobby, hey, you know I love that cinnamon roll, man. You just stole my thunder. He stole my thunder. Now, y'all know I like me. At least he like them cinnamon rolls and Starbucks. So he named this channel Cinnamon Rolls every day. Hey, man, if I could eat cinnamon rolls every day, I would. But they had to wheel me out, get me out here on the wheelbarrow. I'd be big as a bull. But I love some cinnamon rolls. So I know I love you, Cinnamon Rolls, whatever your name is. But so good to see you. Hey, welcome to the show, Cinnamon. So glad to have you on the show today. I think this is the first time I've seen you. But if you haven't signed up, man, click on that subscribe button for me, man. Hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button for me one time. We got about a few people. Hit the like button for me one time. 1, 2, 3. Chichapaya. 1, 2, 3. Chichapaya. Hit the like button. Come on, y'all. Hit that like button for me, please. Please. Thank you. Hey, all right. That's it. We'll Cinnamon, he's a new to the chat. Thank you so much. Hey, I'm welcome to the show, Cinnamon. We are glad to have new people. We get new people almost every other week, but it's so happy. We're so happy to have you here. Y'all give us props. Y'all give me a shout out to Cinnamon Rolls every day. And Cinnamon Rolls, do you have a YouTube channel so we can look you up and see what you're all about? But we're always happy to have new people on the show. This is the part of the train where we go around, we talk to everybody, see how everybody's doing. We do each one reach one, each one teach one, and we ride the love train. This is the part we're doing right now. This show is about reaching and teaching and helping each other grow up and not blow up. We want to move up in life together in any kind of weather. That's what we do. We teach each other, we reach each other, we lift each other up, we pray for each other. This is a strong community of like-minded individuals. So I'm glad to see you want to be a part of the show. Thank you so much for showing up today. And we hope we can show out for you. Okay, man? He said, that's my favorite. Hey, I love cinnamon rolls, man. If you ever go to Starbucks, buy you they got 2 types of rolls. One is a sticky cinnamon bun. It's got cinnamon all over it. It's got cream cheese on the top. I like it, but it's too much sugar. I'll take the sugar off. So I think another type is called the Danish cinnamon roll. And that one is totally cinnamon roll and has a few raisins in it. It's good. It's good. That's the one I like. Go ahead and try it, man. And then when you buy it, tell the lady, say, I want this heated up. Heat it up. It's even better when it's hot, man. You drink your beverage with it. Hey, man, you have a nice time. That's what me and Lisa D do. Every opportunity we get, we either go to Starbucks or we go to Bowls. And we sit down, we relax from our whatever we're doing for that day, and we chit-chat. We just talk, and we drink a little coffee or hot chocolate or whatever. I had tea the last time. I had mint tea. She had green tea. And we sit down, we talk about our future, what's going on now, what we want to do tomorrow, what we just got to do for the rest of the day. We just have a good time of mixing and mingling as a lovely couple, and all couples should take the time, make the time to do that. But in the United States, most of them, the couple, they don't have time to do that. You know what they're doing? They're in the concrete jungle, going to work, going, they don't have, or they come home, hi, how you doing, how you doing? They eat, they go to bed, that's it. They don't spend time together. That family bonding is important, and we try to do that every day. Sometimes I get caught up with stuff I'm doing too. She gets caught up too. But we always, sometime during that week, we come together and we sit down and we just have quiet time with each other. It is so very important, ladies and gentlemen, that you have one-on-one quality sharing, caring, loving time with each other. I'm not talking about in the bedroom, in the headroom. That come when it get ready, but I'm talking about just talking, communicating. You'll be surprised how much improve your relationship gets when you sit down on a frequent basis and just smell the coffee. Okay, man. Let's go. Right chain. Who we got? Cinnamon. You said I've been subscribed for. Okay, man. Good. I didn't know that. Well, thank you so much for being a faithful subscriber. This is the first time we've seen you in the chat room, but don't be a stranger, Long Ranger. Okay, man. If you got a friend, invite your friends to the show. Okay, man, do that for me. Okay, Cinnamon, thank you so much, my brother. Good to see you on the train today. Roger Murphy, hey, welcome Cinnamon Rolls every day. Cinnamon rolls every day. You're right. Just like a Rolls Royce, it rolls. Let's go, Ron James. Who we got? Murphy, hey, every day. I got you, man. Ron James, BobbieD, One Nation, Cinnamon. He said, I'm from America. My Filipino is there. Okay. You from America. What state are you in, Cinnamon? In the United States. What state are you in? I'm from Georgia. Murphy Hayes is from Louisiana. And who else we got on this? Anthony Ligas from Detroit, I believe. Yeah, Detroit. So we might have, if you from one of them states, you're a homie for us. Okay, man? You on our homeboard. Let's go. Who we got? Edward Kirkland. Edward Kirk. What's up, Kirk? Captain Kirk in the house. He said, blessing, Kuya, Bobby, and Lisa. Out there, Lisa. Thank you so much, Kirk. I ain't seen you in a while, man. You okay? Happy New Year to you if I didn't say that already. But I had to see you. I don't think I seen you in January at all. This is February here already, y'all. I'm drinking tea today. This is February 1st here in the Philippines, and that shows you how time is flying and going way very, very fast. This is going to be a fast year. If you have a lot of things scheduled, like I have a lot of things I want to do this year, it's going to go by fast, okay? But if you ain't doing nothing, it's going to be going slow. But it goes by fast because I want to get a lot of stuff done this year. I'm not going to sit on it this year. I'm getting a whole lot more stuff done. My thing this year is to be more productive, produce more, go more, take more, get more, and give more. That's what I'm gonna do this year. Let's go. Ryan Train by the EC One Nation. I'm going up. Who we got? Billy D in the house. What's up, Billy? How you doing, my brother? He said, what does a young Filipino look for in a man? What do you see as the checklist? Checklist. Let's go back. All right. What does a young Filipino? Okay, I'm gonna break this question down. Billy D is saying, what does a young fella look for in a man? I'm assuming that you mean a foreign man. Okay, so let's distinguish that. So I'm gonna tell you what they look for in a foreign man, and some of the things they look for in a foreign man, they look for in a local man and a Filipino man as well. So the things they look for in a foreign man, number one, is he consistent? Is he consistent? Will he do what he says he's going to do? Will he do what he says he's going to do? Okay? A lot of times they meet these guys on the internet, say, I'm coming to see you next month. I'll be there next year. I'll be there. And they never show up. Okay? They're inconsistent and they tell lies just to get whatever they want to get from them. Number two, are they kind and considerate? It's very important for most Filipinos to know that you have a kind heart. They don't like rude people. They don't like mean people. You have to be kind and treat them gently. They love that because they don't get it in, and they don't get it from a lot of men in their society. Men in this society don't treat the women like a foreign man would. Most foreign men usually treat Filipinos like they cream of the crop. Okay, and that's because how Filipinos treat them are good as well. Because of how the Filipino behavior and personality is, they're considered, compared to the United States women, it's a whole nice. The Filipinos' value is up here. The United States women value is down here. So it's a big difference. That's why foreign men usually treat Filipinos very, very well. And the Filipinos usually, the good ones, usually reciprocate and do the same for them. They're looking for people that are kind. They're looking for people that are considerate. They're looking for people that are consistent, and they're looking for people that have a little bit of monte. Everybody needs some money, right? Everybody needs to be taken care of. Now, but that's not the primary purpose in a good Filipino. The good Filipino is not going to be looking for your bank account. They're not going to be knowing how much you make, where you work. They're not going to be doing all that. They're going to be checking you out for you, because they want their ultimate game for most Filipinos that are dating online is the good ones rather, is to date you and find someone that they can have a long-term, loving, caring, sharing relationship with. The money is nice if you got it, but if you don't got it, they'll deal with you how you are and who you are. They want somebody to have build a life with, a loving, long-term, lasting relationship with. Okay, so those are some of the things that a Filipino will look for in a foreign man, and also sometimes some of it in a Filipino, but most Filipinos don't have the money as compared to what a foreign man would. So that's why a lot of Filipinos out here look for foreign men, because most foreign men have more than enough to take care of them. If they're living off of foreign dollars or foreign currency, wherever they're from, most of the time it's more than what the Filipino would make here. So those are some of the things they look for. If you're rude, if you're inconsiderate, if you're vulgar, if you're nasty, you don't clean up, you smell bad, they're not going to be bothered with you, because most of the good Filipinos out here are very clean, and they like their men to be clean. Okay, they hate nasty men. These are some of the most cleanest people I've ever met in my life, ever been around, especially the women. Now, I met a few nasty women, but they're like street women, so you don't want to be fooling with them. But the normal, decent women are very, very clean in their house, as well especially on their body. You won't find a speck of dirt on them. Okay, that's it, man. What do you see? Okay. That second question I answered, I guess that's a checklist as well. Those are some of the things they look for. Now, if you want to talk about the scammers, you want to know what they look for? They look for if you crazy. They look for if you lazy. Yeah, taking foolishness. They see right through you. You say, yeah, I work at IBM. So you might not be a millionaire, but you got money, right? And so they're gonna try to get everything out of your pocket. They'll go on along with your lies as long as you send them their money. It's a reason for everybody's method for everybody's madness. The reason why they do what they do. Okay, man. So good to see you, Billy D in the house, in the house, in the house. Well, we got right Shane BobbieD, one nation of the Google up. Kirkland in the house. Kirk, what's up, Captain? He said, no, you haven't, and cannot wait to be with my fiance family. Okay. Yeah. Your fiance, Billy, Edwin Kirkland, you've been saying that for a while, man. You've been on this show for a while, man. You need to get going on that goal of yours to go see her. I know your finance is should be getting caught up out now. I mean, so let's get to going on. What is your plan? What is your plan, Edwin? And you want me to go over your plan with you and help you out on it? Because I need to see you make that move, man. We've been saying that a long time. Let's get going, brother. Let's go. Right, who we got? Edwin, he said, cannot wait. Yeah, you must be can't wait because you. Let's go, Kirk. Let's get going to move, man. Hey, I'm like this, man. Don't be about it. Do it, okay? Don't say about it. Don't walk about it. Don't just do it. Do it, man. Because it's dependent upon you. She's waiting on you to make that move, okay? She's waiting on you, and only you know that when you can do it. Let's get it going, man. Your plan is gonna be. You have to. If you want to make a plan, make it with specifics. Be specific. I plan to be in Philippines by December 2023. I plan to be June of 20. Make it specific, and then force yourself to do what you have to do to get the money, the wherewithal to get there, man. Because people need to see you more than just on the internet. Okay, man. Let's go. Ryan Chain, Bobby Lisa, one nation, one up. Cinnamon roll. He said, I know what you mean, Ed. Everybody trying to go out, want to see their lady, but they ain't got the money because they're a little bit shady. Hey, if you ain't got the money, man, Cinnamon and Ed and Kirk, get you another job. Yeah, you heard me. JOBB. And you might got one, but get you another one. If your money ain't right, get you another job. If you have to work overtime, work the overtime. That's what I did. When I first started coming out to the Philippines, I made good money on my job, but I didn't have the extra kind of money to just pull couple of thousand, 2,000-3,000 and go to the Philippines and back. You know what I did? Worked overtime. I worked 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. I very seldom got a day off because my company had a lot of overtime at the time. And every time they said over, I said, I got the time. And that's how I made it up. Let's go around and check who we got. Edwin Chris said again, Bob, Happy New Year and blessings to you, cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Edwin Kirkland. Captain Kirk in the house. Blessings to you and your family, man. And I hope that prosperity of 2023 is abundant upon your home, your body, your mentality, and everything else. Okay? Brian Chain, who we got? Cinnamon. He said, I can't wait to get to spit America. I can't wait to spit from America. Okay. I think a lot of people have that sentiment. That a lot of people believe that leaving the country would be better for them because there's a lot of things that's going on in America that really is not pleasant, especially for a lot of African Americans. And so I don't know if you're African American or not, but that's the common sentiment I hear from a lot of our subscribers. They can't stand it there anymore. They want to leave. And, you know, I think that's good too. Just always good to get away to see how the other half lives and how you can function in another country and another culture. But you got to consider you're living, if you're in the United States of America, you're living in the best country in the world as far as opportunity, as far as money. You know, it's a good country. Now I say that to say this, even though it's the best country in the world, there are always some drawbacks to that. Okay, some bad options with that because there's a lot of racism there in the United States of America, and there's a lot of things that hold people with this melanin in their skin. They hold us back because of that. Yeah, and so because of that, a lot of people don't want to get out. But you know, when I left the United States of America, my primary purpose for leaving was not to run away from racism, because I deal with race and I've been dealing with racism and all that kind of stuff all my life. I deal with it head on. I don't be shy about it. I said, look, man, I don't like what you said. Watch your mouth. You know, I tell it like that. And they say it again, I report them. They say it on my job, I report them. Yeah. I don't fight them, but I'm not a violent man. But if you touch me, I'm gonna finish it. It gonna be over. We're gonna be tussling, you know. But I'm not gonna. My mom always told me, don't you start nothing, and it won't be nothing, you know. So I never start nothing, but I'm not gonna run away either. Let's go, Ryan Train, BobbieD, see one nation, group love. Edwin Kirkland. You see, agreed. I got you, man. Yeah, man, you gotta get that plan going, man. Ed Kirk, gotta get it going, man. Your lady looking at you, she looking at you, and she knows what's gonna happen, Kirk. If this is 2023, and you've been saying this since 2021. 2022. And so what's going to happen, man, she's going to lose faith. Mm-hmm. She's going to lose faith in you. And when a woman loses faith in you, she loses respect for you. She going to say, man, he been telling me that for 2 years. I ain't seen him yet. What's wrong with her? And then she going to start playing you for food. Yeah, you heard me. She going to play you because she think you playing her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she'll have a guy on the side, and you send her $100, $200 a month. And when you get there, everything will be fine, but it won't be fine because when you leave, she'll get her boy right back again. Look, man, do what you're going to say. Get your plan together and go see if that lady's real like steel. Okay, man? Let's go, Ryan Train. Who we got? Michael Coffee. Need some coffee. What's up, Michael? What's happening? He's BobbieD. Hello. Mr. God and Cebu City from Nurse Mike. Nurse Mike, we're doing good, man. So good to see you around the train. BobbieD, see one nation on group love. Happy holidays, happy all everything. Holiday over. Happy New Year. Right, Jane, who we got? Anthony Lee, see if it helps, you have some Monte. Yeah, you need the money, man. You have to have money coming here. If you're a foreigner, you can't work here unless you have a special work permit. And sometimes you can get a work permit, but you have to go on a call center job. They'll usually you might be able to get one for that. But other than that, you're not going to work here. So you got to have some type of finance to live in this world, live in this Philippines or any other foreign country you go in. Yeah. If you come out here with no money, you will be riding by, crying back, calling your mom and daddy. Can you lend me? You know, so no, and they're going to hang up on you. You're going to be sitting out here like a fool. Let's go around here. Who we got? Cinnamon rolls after debts are paid about 1 year. Okay, hold on. You said after my debts are paid, about 1 year away. Okay. So you got 1 year, and so you got a lady gonna wait for you 1 year. You have that boundary set. Is that what you're telling me? She understands that she got to wait for you a year. And what are you doing, Cinnamon, to ensure to make it worthwhile for her to wait for you for 1 year. I mean, it's her life got to go. Does she have finances on her own? She have her own job? Does she work? Does she have children? Does she, what kind of work does she do? All of those things matter if she gonna wait for you 1 full year. Because a lot of time they don't. Women have to do what they got to do to make it through. And if you ain't putting in what you got to put in to help her, she gonna say, "Toodaloo, let's go round train BobbieD. See one nation group one love. Michael Coffee need some coffee." He said, "BobbieD, hi. God bless and be with the Love Train Fridays today. Keep the faith." Nurse Mike in USA, Cali. Nurse Mike is in California, Happy California, and he's doing a good job. He's a nurse in the intensive care hospice center. People that he's nursing over, they have been deemed terminally ill. So he does the best he can to make that their best last days are their best days. And so it's a very, very tough job, and we're always praying for Nurse Mike. Let's go round train BobbieD. See one nation on the good love. Edwin Kirkland, what's up, Kirk? He said, to answer your comments, Kuya Bobby, I take care of my fiance and our kids, missing my father-in-law, Rip Pops. Okay, I'm glad you do that. It's helping her, and they need most time they do need help. If you have a fiance and you said your kids, so the children she has is your children. You're the father. You're the natural father, biological father to the children. So that means you've known this woman for a long time, and that you take care of them. So that's good. That's a good thing. Hopefully, if you have that connection where you're taking care of your children, then she probably will be more faithful than moving out and looking at other people. She's going to be waiting for you to send that check every month. Okay, man? So that's one thing you're doing. You're doing a good thing. She needs help, and that way she won't run to somebody else for help if you do your job. Okay, man? Keep doing it, but work on your plan and get there. Okay, man? Let's go. Brian Train, who we got? Anthony Liggins. He's the same to you, Nurse Mike. Stay safe, bro. Brian Train, BobbieD. Edward Kirk. He said, absolutely. Get to see you. Come on out here. My internet keeps going down, man. I don't know what I got to call Converge. Michael Kopp, he said, Anthony, hello. God bless you, sir. Thanks from Nurse Mike, USA, Cali. Ryan Train, BobbieD, see one nation on the group. Kirkland, he said, agreed, Bobby. Okay, good. Kirk, he said, going for 2, absolutely. Got you, man. Ryan Train, BobbieD, see one nation. Billy D, he said, this year my plan is to be in Cebu this year. What is a good part of Cebu? It has lots of office workers, but cost of living is cheaper. Is Cebu City a good spot? Okay, multiple parts of the question. So you plan on being on Cebu this year. Okay, let's be more specific on your plan when you say this year, because when you just told me I plan on being on Cebu this year, that's really not a plan. That's just you know what that is? Wishing and hoping. That's hopeful and wishful statements. If you have a goal, your goal should be specific. In May of this year, May 15th, my goal is to be in Cebu. And I plan to do this to get myself prepared to ready to go there. That'll be a plan. Okay. All right. See, what is good part of Cebu? Good part of Cebu, they have lots of office workers. Downtown Cebu. I mean, that's where the office workers are. Downtown Cebu or in the malls, any place in Cebu you got where your businesses are. Why are you focused on office workers? I'm trying to figure that out. You trying to, okay, I got it now. You're trying to make sure that somebody you meet may have a job working in an office. Is that what it is? I'm not sure. I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay, so cost of living is cheaper. Cebu is a good sport. Yeah. Cost of living is cheaper when you compare the United States. Cost of living is way like 30% less than the United States. If you stay in Manila, your cost of living, finances, and expenses will be higher. So that's why I'm living in Cebu. I like Cebu. I don't like big cities like Manila. I like cities. I like big cities, but not like Manila. Manila is too crowded, and it's not a clean place to me. And a lot of people want to scam you, always trying to get your money out of you. I don't like that. So, but this is why I chose to abide. Lisa D wanted to live here. Lisa D's from a small town called Manila, which is about 3 hours away. But she worked here, so she understood. She liked Cebu because she worked here. And so when I came here, she was here, and we decided, like I said, always set your boundaries and parameters. Before we even came to move here, we decided that Cebu was where we would be living. Okay, so it's a nice place, man, nice for us. Everybody don't like it. Some people like bigger cities like Manila. Manila's the biggest city in the Philippines. Cebu is the number 2, and Davao is the number 3. So if you're a city guy, I would go into one of those places. If you're not a city guy, then you want to choose the small rural cities. Okay, small rural towns. Let's go. Cinnamon. He said crazy here in America and too expensive. Yeah, the cost of living is expensive everywhere, guy. You know what I'm saying? The cost of living here is eight. I think it jumped up to 8.1% last month. So cost of living is very, very high. I'm talking in December. The cost of living for January has not come out yet, but I'm talking for December. The last time I checked in the Philippines, April, but the U.S. was higher too. I think the cost of living has dropped in the U.S. So we have a global inflation all over the world. So you might not think it's high out here, but I can tell you, as living out here, we can be in DC. The prices are going shot up since we've been living here, man. I could live off of way less than what I'm living off of now. But my U.S. dollars make up for us, and we're not hurting at all. But I can see a difference. And the people out here that are hurting are the Filipinos. They live off the peso, and the peso ain't now. I can't live on no peso, man. I need dollars, U.S. dollars to be exact. Let's go, Ryan Chain. Who we got? Cinnamon. He said, the more you make, the more they take. Um, that's true. You got to pay your tax, right? Uncle Sam got to get his. And so I don't. It's about how you use your money. That's the key. You should, if you have a typical plan on how you make your expenses, you should always keep at least 20%, 15 to 20% in some type of savings. Okay, guys. Looks like we're back. We just dropped. The internet just dropped. So get back up now. I apologize for the delay. I'm gonna run this real quick, and I gotta check on my internet. Okay, I'm gonna check call down to converge so they can get somebody to check on. All right. Let's see. Michael Coffee said, "BobbieD, hello. I missed the malls there in Cebu and SMC Cebu. Yeah, Seaside. Yeah, Bolo Robinson Mall. May come back to see. Okay. Hope to see you, man. Brian Chain, who we got? Cinnamon. I don't care what anyone here says, but this place is not the best in the world. Okay. Um, it depends how you look at it, Cinnamon. From your perspective, it's terrible for you, but there's other people that are saying it's the best ever for them. You know, uh, I agree with you to a certain extent. I would not want to live in the United States of America. I know. I don't want to go backwards. That's going backwards. I feel better here, okay, than I was feeling there. My life here is much better as far as relationship, as far as freedom, as far as being free, as far as feeling more respected. It's much better here. To a certain degree, I agree with you. Ryan Train, Billy D. He said LDR is very hard. Any ideas on how to keep a Filipino happy while living in the West? Happiness, Billy D, comes from each individual. It comes from within. Okay, so you can't keep her happy. She has to keep herself happy. She can't keep you happy. You have to keep yourself happy. So if you have an individual that's independent and don't have to be prodded and pushed to do anything, she gonna keep her. If she really loves you, if she really interested in you, she gonna do whatever it takes to keep herself happy, and so she can stay interested in you and keep your relationship alive. So there's nothing you can do to make her happy. She has to make that decision. Happiness is a choice. It's this personal decision. You can wake up every morning and decide to be happy or decide to be sad. It's a choice for each individual to make. And so I can't make Lisa D happy. I can't. If she decided, oh, I'm not going to be happy today, I got to deal with that. I can't make her happy. And she can't make me happy. If I decide. So happiness is a decision. You can't make her happy. All you can do is do those things that you can do to help her in her life and then have her do the same for you. Ron J, who we got? Cinnamon. Yes, I'm trying to hire her to come work as my nanny, H2B. Okay. Okay. Be careful with that because if they find out that you have a relationship with her, that'll be a violation of the law. So you get some time for that. So be careful with that, man. If you want her to be your girlfriend, get your K1B, so whatever, and have her come out there the right way. If you do the H2B and you hire her as a nanny and they find you have a relationship, they can revoke that visa. Right, change sentiment easier than tourists. It's easier, but you got to be careful with that. If you say you come from her, if she says that she's coming out there to be a nanny, that's where it's expected to be. If you have a relationship with you and just what you're really coming out there for, if they find that out, it won't be easy. They'll take that visa out of there. Cinnamon, she can work 9 months here and then we can go there. Okay. If that's your plan, deal with it, but I wouldn't do that. Okay, man. Right, Jay, we got Billy D. He said, have you been to Quezon City? I see it's #1 province in population. Quezon is huge, man. But I haven't been there. I've been near there. I wouldn't want to go there. It's #1, but there's a lot of crime out there, man. A lot of drugs, a lot of crime. If I was you, I would stay away from them. Just like Angeles. Angeles City, there's a part of Angeles that's really very nice. And there's a part of this full of corruption, crime, drugs, anything you want, you know. So I don't go to places that are full of drug and corruption like that because I don't feel safe. I stay where I feel safe. Let's go. Ryan Train. Billy D. Has your budget changed now? Like, would 70,000 pesos a month be okay to live in Cebu? Rent a 1-bedroom condo? Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be all right. If it's just you, sure. 70,000 a month. 70,000 a month. Hold on. Let me see how much of that. 70,000 a month would be in dollars. That would be what? That'd be about 1,000. No, you gonna need more than that. You're gonna need about. I'm putting it in dollars. You need at least $2,500, $3,000 or more to live decent. If you're talking about 70,000 and you want to live in a nice place, nice condo, it's not gonna work. Your rent's gonna be about 25, 35 in a nice place, a nice one. Okay. Now you can get these little Filipino cheap apartments and stuff like that, but you live like a Filipino, and it's dangerous to live like a Filipino because you're not Filipino, you're a foreigner. And anytime a foreigner comes in the Philippines, they have a target on their back because they're a foreigner, and you would have a double target because if you're black, you got this melanin in your skin, this nice chocolate like I got. It'll be a double target on your back. Let's go, Ryan J. Who we got? North Carolina. What's up, man? So good to see you. He said, hello, BobbieD. Live in the Philippines from Greensboro, North Carolina. He from the north side. I'm from the south side. So good to see you. Ryan J. Who we got? Amazing Monroe is in the house. What's up, Monroe? With your amazing self. Life in North Carolina. Hello, Murphy Hayes. What's up, my brother? Kakalaka says, congrats, Murphy Hayes, for number 1. Wow. Ryan J. Who we got? Now Kakalaki said, congrats. I did number 2, man. You wasn't playing. Ryan J. Was that number 2? Let me see. I don't think he was number 2. No. Yeah, he was number 2. All right. Sorry, Anthony. I forgot. Let's go. Ryan J. Who we got? Kakalaki, he said, you're welcome, Anthony. Good to see you, man. We got Cinnamon. He said, thanks, Billy D, for the info. I didn't know what. Yeah, we dropped for a minute, man. I'm sorry about that. All right, guys. Well, it's been real. I got to go check on this internet. I got to get converted to figure out why we're dropping like this. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. This is BobbieD saying take care. God bless. And hope to see y'all on the backside of tomorrow. Hope to be here every day until probably Saturday. Take care. God bless. And peace.